We need a new constitution. We need new laws. We need to revamp how we run the world. That is a big job. But here's the thing. It feels like people have been performing for years. Politicians are actors too, right? And until we get people to stop performing and actually do shit, it's not going to change. And I know this is going to be unpopular, but protesting, all of it, like, it's only going to work if actual change comes from it. Now, protesting companies works. Absolutely. But voting is the only thing that is going to work for this administration because they don't give a fuck about protesting. There are statistics that say, well, if this many people protest, I know I've said this before, it doesn't matter when they're doing whatever they want. And the regular life is over. This is the end. And everybody trying to cling on to performing is going to have a huge problem transitioning to the next stage of our global society. It's just a fact. And I don't even mean this in a spiritual sense. I'm a spiritual person, but I'm also a realist. I'm also a hitchhiker on this planet. And it's like, no one person is more powerful than the other. It's all perception. It's money being powerful is a perception that everyone has chosen to make. It doesn't actually mean someone is more powerful. The thing is, we can change this world. We just have to change our mindset. We have to change our belief system, and we have to do it as a team. And that's the problem. People feel as if their identities are wrapped up in certain routines, in certain things in life. I have to do this because I was told to. I have to do this because that is what it's supposed to be like. And that isn't working. And I know that there's a lot of people who are like, well, what about anarchy if everybody doesn't what is it now? Like, I'd like to believe that the majority of humanity has built-in morality. They don't need a book to tell them how to be moral. They need people around them who show them what a good person is. They need to be part of a community that respects integrity and truth. The people that made our documents, our rules that we go by as a global humanity, global society, have been dead and gone for thousands of years or hundreds, whatever. They've been gone. And for some reason, we have chosen to keep using these archaic documents and laws instead of going with whatever's happening. The Constitution should be a working document, not something that's pushed away in the Smithsonian. And it's a working document. You shouldn't have to give up your firstborn in order to change an amendment that is against humanity. It's wrong. I know it sounds radical, but when I think about it, it's not really radical. It seems very logical and intelligent to me. But in order to do this, we have to stop whining about everything going wrong and actually try to use the tools that we have. And I don't know if boycotts and protests are going to do it. I'm not saying not to do that. I still think it is credible when it comes to companies who have a lot of money. But the thing is, our mindset has to change as society and as the world. And it can't change to one thing. I want to make that clear too. It can't be one thing. It has to be an individual, but also a group. We can't have another situation where everyone is conforming to the same thing. So there has to be a way to build a system that supports everyone and what they need and want. And that sounds easy, right? So it's like we know what we need to do. The problem is the logistics of something like that. The problem is the mindset change for something like that. It would be massive. And so in order to change a mindset like that, there has to be things in people's faces. And this is not me justifying anything happening right now. I want to make that clear. It is not justifiable. I am sick. I am angry. I am sad about everything that's going on in the world, in my country of the United States. It's terrible. But I can't let my emotions dictate my mindset. It has to be, I have to separate myself in some ways in order to really understand how action can take place. And it's not going to be followers, like I don't want there to be gurus and people that are idolized, and that has to end. Every person on this planet has value. Every person is precious. No one is illegal. No one deserves to be treated like they've been treated, like we've all been treated. Like, especially people who have endured pain forever. For things that they cannot help, like what color someone's skin is. If you want to hear more, my podcast is called Hitchhiker's Guide to Humanity. I talk about stuff like this. It's usually about this long. It's like less than 15 minutes if you're interested. Take care of each other.